Hi, I'm Caroline Leavitt, and this is my novel, With or Without You. It's coming out from Algonquin, August 4th, 2020. Isn't the cover great? I really love it. First, I wanted to say thank you to all the librarians out there because you saved my life when I was a child. I had really bad asthma and I couldn't go outside and play with the other kids. It was either too hot or too cold or too anything. So I stayed inside the library and I was always asking the librarians, do you have any books about kids like me with asthma? First book they gave me was Mrs. Mike, this wonderful, wonderful novel about this woman that goes to the Canadian wilderness and she encounters somebody with pleurisy. And I thought, pleurisy, wow, that's a much cooler sounding word than asthma, and I like that. It made me feel less alone. Next, the librarians gave me 18th and 19th century books about things like consumption and tuberculosis, and I love those words too. And I brought them out into the world with me. The next time somebody was bullying me and saying, hey, Leavitt, hey, asthma head, I drew myself up and I said, I beg your pardon. You don't know anything. I don't have asthma. I have pleurisy and consumption and tuberculosis. Well, the person who was bullying me, his face went white with wonder and even a little bit of respect, and he left me alone. So thank you. Thank you so much. So my novel, With or Without You, is about what do we owe the people we love? What happens in a long relationship if suddenly there's a dramatic change and you don't know what to do about it? In my book, Simon, a once famous rock and roller now in his 40s, is arguing with his longtime partner Stella, also in her 40s. She wants a commitment. She wants him to grow up, to buy their apartment, to have a child, while he just wants fame. As they're arguing, they're drinking more and more, and then Simon finds a pill and thinking it might relax them. He splits it and they both take half of it. In the morning, Simon wakes up. Stella is in coma. He rushes her to the hospital, and she's in coma for months. And when she wakes up, everything's changed. She has a totally different personality, one that dramatically impacts both her, Simon, and Libby, the doctor who is taking care of her. But even stranger than that, Stella has this incredible new talent where she can paint the inner lives of people where before all she could scribble was a grocery list. She suddenly develops the fame that Simon's always yearned for and she doesn't really want. What's going to happen with their relationship? So where did this story come from? Well, actually it came from real life. My husband and I knew this couple, John and Ann, who seemed to have the perfect marriage. They were together for 17 years. John was unconditionally loving. And then all of a sudden, one day, he wasn't. He began to bodybuild. He shaved his head. He shaved his body. He stayed downstairs for hours. He even pulled Mack trucks by ropes with his teeth. But it wasn't just his body that changed. It was his personality, too. Suddenly, everything he had loved about Anne, he now detested. He yelled at her. He didn't like the books she read. He didn't like what she was wearing. And after a few months, he just vanished. That really terrified me. I kept thinking, how could such a thing happen? What if it happened to me? So I began to do more research. Coma always popped up. It seems that when you are in a coma, your brain neurons can refire and rewire together, and you can come out scientifically different than when you went in. There were incredible stories. There was a woman who could not speak any other language than English. And when she woke up, she was fluent in Mandarin. She quit her job as a school teacher, moved to China, and became a translator. There was a guy who couldn't carry a tune and certainly couldn't find middle C on a piano. But when he woke, he was a virtuoso. He could play anything on the piano, and now he's filling concert halls. I thought that was just extraordinary and amazing. In With or Without You, I wanted to talk about that. What happens to you when your partner changes, and what happens to your partner as well? And I wanted readers to know that it doesn't always have to be traumatic, that sometimes it can be just like life, something full of wonder and amazement. So I hope you will love my book. I hope your patrons will love my book. And thank you so, so much for all that you do.